Where's coffee? Hey everybody, how are you doing out there? Happy January 1st, Happy New Year, Happy 2023. I hope that wherever you are in the world or wherever you are in the United States where I live, you had a fun and safe and very healthy 2022 and a very safe New Year's Eve last night. And I really hope that you have a great 2023 ahead of you. So today we're doing another one of those fireside chat kind of open-ended discussions here. I kind of like doing these kind of videos because I don't really have to go in with any kind of a plan. I just know like the general idea and stuff that I want to talk about, and I'm just going to let the conversation flow as naturally as possible, which is how I make even my normal videos, but when they're focused on like a topic that has to do with gaming or a piece of news or Metroid, there's still that linear path that carries my conversation through it. And this is the kind of thing where it's like, man, none of that crap matters. I'm just gonna blab about basically my opinions on the stuff we're talking about today, which is YouTube, gaming YouTube, my approach, some of the future, and all of these different things. And I mean, here's the thing. I'm not oblivious to the fact that today, January 1st, the beginning of the year, is the day where everyone is going to make these kinds of videos, which is great. I think everyone should. I actually enjoy it, and that's why I'm excited to make my own version of it. But everyone's going to be having their videos where it's just a very simple thumbnail and everyone's talking about the future, the plans, this channel's going in this direction in 2023, here are my own life updates, and yada, yada, yada. And it's great. I've even already seen a few today, and some of them, especially as far as life updates, very powerful, very good stuff going on out there for pretty much everyone that I know, and I hope it continues that way. And like I said, I just hope everyone is happy and healthy going forward. So I'm definitely doing my own version of the same thing, right? I know I'm not being unique. I'm going to be like the 20th video on your feed today where someone's like, I'm talking about YouTube, and I'm talking about the future in the new year. But what are you going to do? I want to talk about it. So like I said, I have very little plans for this other than one thing I do know that I wanted to touch on here on January 1st, the beginning of the year, is kind of just broadly speaking, YouTube and gaming YouTube and kind of how I'm personally looking at it. A few months ago, I made a video kind of talking about my approach to YouTube and how I felt about YouTube and how I've been feeling less interested in gaming for a lot of different reasons, even though I still love it, and there was amazing games released in 2022 as far as just the hobby of gaming. And I talked about that stuff and how I was like taking some breaks from YouTube and I didn't know what my future is going to be. And a lot of that stuff is still the same. I haven't necessarily changed a lot of how I feel, but in retrospect, I realized that without even thinking about it, that video kind of still ended up becoming way more about just video games and the hobby of playing video games that I actually meant for it to be. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more broader and just about my approach and just, you know, how my life is fitting into doing YouTube and why it's maybe aiding in the fact that I haven't been as excited about games, and I'm a changing, evolving person just like we all are. I know I mention it in these conversations a lot, but I'm in my early 40s. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people who watch my content in YouTube are much younger than me. So I feel like reminding folks who maybe don't know that I am a little bit older than a lot of people sometimes assume, I think adds to my ever-changing and evolving relationship to not only doing YouTube, but also just to the video game hobby. And so it kind of brings me back to some of the stuff, like I said, I didn't get to talk about in that video a few months ago that I want to come back to today. And of the many things that have kind of been making me take some steps back from doing YouTube and from playing games in the same way I traditionally have, is that YouTube, the gaming side of YouTube, definitely feels different now than it did even 5, 6, 7 years ago or so. And keep in mind, I've been doing YouTube for over 9 years, right? I just had my 9th year anniversary of, doing YouTube regularly in October. So over 9 years. So I've been around for a while, covering mostly Nintendo, going back to the Wii U years, obviously, and also covering the launches of the PS4 and the Xbox One, and just, the whole almost last decade of my life has been doing this YouTube stuff. So I've seen the gaming side of YouTube evolve in its own ways, right? And I've kind of mentioned this before, and this isn't even necessarily a negative, and this is definitely not a call out, because there are so many great YouTubers, so many of them I know. I've gotten to know some really great people who are also YouTubers. Many of them I definitely consider in a lot of ways friends, in the way that you can consider people you only know online from doing YouTube friends. I have many really good friends that I've gotten to know who are themselves, they're, successful YouTubers and content creators and online personalities. And I'm very thankful for that. So this isn't like call outs to any like people or anything. But as far as just the landscape of gaming YouTube and the way it's approached nowadays, it's definitely less interesting and stimulating just to me and my personal tastes than it was a few years ago and even back when I started, right? And I've talked about this before. I equate a lot of it to what I've called, this is my personal name for this, right? And it's the Switch boom. Because I feel like when the Nintendo Switch came out, not only did the gaming side of, or the Nintendo side of gaming YouTube change, and a lot of people just like burst onto the scene, and a lot of the way people make videos, and the way a lot of people, and you guys are also consuming videos, and the way the news cycle has changed, so much has changed in the coming up on 6 years since the Nintendo Switch launched, specifically about the Nintendo side of YouTube, which is what I spend most of my time doing, that it's been very interesting to watch. And like I said, I definitely don't see it as a negative, but it is just, for my personal tastes, less interesting. And as I sit here now, over 9 years into my own time doing YouTube, again, on the side, just for fun, just as a hobby. I don't do this for a job. I don't want to do this for a job. I like my current career and my path, and I do very well for myself, all things considered, and so I'm fine. I like doing YouTube just because I like doing it. I mean, would I like to always grow? Yeah, sure. I would love in 2023 to finally freaking cross 20,000 subscribers. 2022 became such a slow growth year for me. And again, it's okay because I don't do this full time, but it is like, yeah, I still also care about it a little bit. And I am going to, for now, continue to do YouTube. You know, my pace and my cadence of releasing will vary and probably, you know, ebb and flow, but I still plan on doing it in 2023. And so I'd love to hit that 20,000 milestone. That would certainly feel very good. Anyway, I'm tangenting because, again, I had no plan for this video. And so I think the Switch boom and the Switch era and the success of the Switch and the success of Nintendo just as a business and as a brand really affected how gaming YouTube exists and people are making videos, and the kind of people that become big in the Switch era, the kind of channels that have seen huge growth in the Switch era, and like I already said, also the way people are even consuming YouTube content about gaming and about Nintendo. I think, and again, this isn't necessarily bad. It's different than how it was when I started, and it's not as exciting and stimulating to me now, but it is definitely not negative in any way. But I've noticed the difference in the way people watch stuff and comment about stuff and share their opinions and get mad or support the things they like. And, you know, it's all kind of nebulous ideas I'm talking about here, and I hadn't thought through how to explain it with my words, but it's just, long story, very long. It's just different. And I think that the Switch boom definitely changed that and moved a lot of the gaming side of YouTube and the Nintendo side of YouTube in directions that, again, are fine, but just not as interesting to me. Now, to be fair, this really does apply to all sides of gaming YouTube, because something else that's also had a huge explosion in the last 6 years since the Switch was released is also live streaming and Twitch, and the way content creators and influencers have really blown up since 2017. Not because of the Switch, just in the same era as the Switch boom that I've dubbed it. You know, these two things kind of coincided with each other, right? Just basically the last 6 years was a very strange change for the whole online gaming content creation space. And while that stuff is also fine too, you guys know I'm not into the live streaming culture, and I don't watch Twitch or do Twitch. I used to do my own conversational live streams on this channel, and maybe I start doing those again. I do miss doing them, but I've never really had a good format for it, and my internet for a while was really bad, but I think the internet in my neighborhood has finally gotten better last year, so I probably could start doing it again. But I've just seen everything about this space change over the last 5 years, and so, you know, I'm just always kind of reevaluating how I feel about doing YouTube and doing gaming discussion creation, just because I think the kind of content I make is the kind of content I also like to watch. And there are plenty of channels and YouTubers out there in the gaming space that I do like to watch and support, because they do the similar kind of things that I like to watch and that I think I do on my channel. But I've seen gaming YouTube become more just stating the facts of news and less discussing the news and becoming very conversational and doing those kinds of things. Again, it's not everybody. Plenty of even the people in my kind of circle of YouTube are doing the good stuff. But the news reporting thing is less exciting to me, and it's really taken over stuff. There are channels who do both, and I think that's the best way to do it. be the news channel, but also be your own unique opinionated channel and do different kinds of things and different stuff approaching gaming in a different way, right? In 2022, near the end of the year, I had a chance to make a couple of videos that I wish I was better at doing and I would like to do more of. And it's my Atari Jaguar video and my 10-year Wii U video, stuff like that that isn't really relating to specifically news or whatever and my opinions on news. But here's the thing. I don't have the time or the skill to make videos like that to the actual quality I want them to be. I've talked about it, I think, in that video a couple of months ago. If I could make videos to the quality of The Angry Video Game Nerd and The Gaming Historian and Stop Skeletons from Fighting, Scott the Woz, the way people make those kinds of videos is so impressive. Wrestling with gaming, those kinds of things. I wish I could make that kind of content, but I'm not good at it. What you saw in the Wii U and the Atari Jaguar video is the exact extent of my video making documentary style videos. Like, it's just not to that level. I don't have the time or the ability to do it because, again, I don't do this full time. I always squeeze YouTube in between my regular life, like a lot of other YouTubers do. I'm not unique in that respect. It just prevents me from doing that kind of stuff as much as I would like to. And so to put a button on this topic, it just comes down to, you know, I'm probably repeating myself a lot in this video, so apologies if you're even watching this far. But it just comes down to the gaming and the online content creation space. We're talking YouTube, we're talking Twitch, we're talking TikTok, which I do not use and do not have, by the way. It's not for me. But there's a lot of that stuff on TikTok and, you know, Twitter and all the ever-changing bullshit around Twitter. Like, holy crap, don't even get me started on that. You know, things have just changed, man. And I do definitely have very nostalgic, fond memories from when I first started. Just a nerdy guy, living alone, single, happy as can be, who just, like, bought some really shitty, low-quality equipment and just barely figured out how to make video content with really crappy software and a crappy capture card. And I don't even know how I managed to get off the ground because I'm not really good at these kinds of things, even still 9 years later. But I managed to find a way to just do it, living alone, really excited about the Wii U. Even though the Wii U wasn't popular and successful, I really liked it. And so I liked talking about video games. I was doing podcasts with friends and it became a solo YouTube channel. And then covering PS4 and Xbox One, and just really those Wii U years when I was a small guy, but, you know, still slowly growing and starting to see success, and then started to get to know people, started doing podcasts with good friends of mine too, who I got to know through YouTube. Man, I love that kind of grassroots time of being a YouTuber when every couple of hundred views felt more exciting and every 10 subscribers felt really exciting. And a lot of people are in that position for themselves now. And I kind of equate it to like when George Lucas had to make the first Star Wars, just a bunch of scrappy people with not a lot of money, still breaking ground with special effects, but not really knowing how it was all going to come together, compared to like how Disney is pumping out the Star Wars crap they're doing now. It's like, I kind of miss when I was George Lucas in Tunisia making A New Hope, compared to, you know, where you can grow as a YouTuber doing more of the Disney Star Wars approach. Now, I can't compare myself to Disney Star Wars. Come on. I have 18,000 subscribers in 9 years. Like, I'm not that big of a guy, and I know that. But I think that the analogy probably tracks for you guys still. And I just really miss those early years. And seeing how YouTube has changed and how I feel different about doing it. I still love it, and I love you guys who watch me and support me, comment on my videos, have conversations with me on Twitter. I love it, and I do it every day for that reason. But it felt a lot more fun to me and natural, you know, 6 or 7 years ago. And so, yeah, like, you know, here in the beginning of 2023, I am proud of the success my channel has seen. You know, 18,000 subscribers and a couple of thousand views per video in 9 years. By most accounts, maybe isn't successful, but for me, as someone who always have done this on the side, I find it pretty successful, and I am extremely proud of what Rule of Two Review is. And again, I thank you guys for watching and supporting, and especially a lot of my fellow YouTubers who've done fantastically well for themselves in the past 6-7 years. Again, in the Switch boom, love to see it. Almost everyone I know and associate with personally is making great content, and they're a bunch of great, genuine people, and I think you guys know who I'm talking about, and I love to see it. Even though I'm feeling weird about my personal enjoyment of YouTube, watching it, and being a YouTuber, I still love to see just what's happening. It's very exciting. And so, you know, I don't really have many life updates. I don't even know if anyone would care. I mean, Work is going well. I'm going through some transitions at my current company because I changed companies really in the same career last year. And this last year was challenging, but also brought with it a lot of good. Again, I do very well for myself, and I'm very happy with what I'm doing, and it supports myself and my wife and our house and all that stuff. So I'm very successful in that respect, and I'm very happy. I have some big changes coming soon that should also, fingers crossed, be even better than what things are now. Maybe put some of my challenges, my 2022 challenges behind me as far as work goes, and more focus on the good stuff in the future, so I'm excited for that. Music has been a weird thing for me to navigate since the pandemic because my 2 prior projects had basically stopped throughout the main part of the pandemic that was the most severe, 2020 and 2021. Last year, things started to get better, started to revive some new projects and trying to get new people involved with stuff, and almost had some great touring opportunities as a fill-in drummer, but things just didn't match up scheduling-wise, and so that didn't happen. And so now I've got some other really big things cooking going into 2023, and so I'm hoping that by summer I've got a lot of great new music stuff that I can share with my audience. And if you guys like heavy metal and you want to hear my drumming and see some stuff, some videos, and I'll be on stage for sure this year, who knows? We'll see how that goes. I have an extensive music career and music history behind me, but again, it basically went dark during the pandemic because obviously the pandemic shut down music in just such a weird way. And I do mostly live and studio kind of music stuff, so it just wasn't happening for us and for myself. And so now I think I'm coming out of that, got a bunch of great things cooking as far as music, and so I'm so excited for where that's going to go, just for me. And honestly, to talk about the fun stuff here near the end, I mean, gaming is looking to be great too. I talked a few months ago, and it's true, I am struggling with this current generation PS5 and Series X. Like, I own those consoles, I play my PS5 often. There were some amazing games in 2022. Are you kidding me? Elden Ring was one of the best games I've played in the last, 5 to 10 years. Kirby was an amazing surprise. God of War Ragnarok was a little disappointing, but still incredible. Bayonetta 3, a little disappointing, but still very good. Metal Hellsinger. I mean, so I don't want to just rattle off all these games, but it was a very good year for gaming. Still been struggling with it, because the current generation isn't really blowing me away yet. The Switch, I love it. Nintendo's my favorite, but I'm a little kind of ready to move on. Just personally, I'll keep buying and supporting games for the Switch, of course, but you guys know how I feel, man. Come on. I've been excited for a new thing, hopefully in 2023 for 2 years. I guess you could say it's actually going to be about almost 3 years now, which is crazy. I've been talking about it for so long, and I hope that this happens. I'm excited for Nintendo to move on to something new. Whatever it is, I know it's going to be something I'll enjoy, because they always make stuff I enjoy, but I would like to see it before 2023 is over. I think we're going to. And so I think that's going to be exciting. New Zelda game in 2023. Holy crap. That's the biggest news possible. Like, whether it's held back by the current Switch or whether it gets a next-gen thing that we also learn about or whatever, I don't even care. If that game looks and runs the exact same as Breath of the Wild, but it's just a newer, bigger Zelda game, and we get to fly through the skies of Hyrule, I'm satisfied. Tears of the Kingdom is going to blow my balls off, and I'm ready to be without my balls in 2023 because of Tears of the Kingdom. So extremely excited in that front. I absolutely believe Metroid is going to be shown to us this year. There are the rumors going around on Reddit from someone who says Metroid Prime is coming soon. Maybe there's a direct in January or February. I think there's a lot of possibilities there. You guys know I think we might see Metroid this year, but it's also tough to predict. Nintendo's been very secretive with all that stuff this year, so it's really tough to say. I'm hoping PS5 and Xbox Series X finally get to shine. I'm excited for Starfield on the Xbox. I'm excited for Redfall on the Xbox. I would like Halo Infinite to finally be good again. I'm hoping for some great stuff for the PS5. And so, I think E3 is supposed to come back, so hopefully Nintendo and everyone has really strong E3 showings again. So on the gaming side, because I am a gaming channel, so I wanted to throw this in near the end here, my feelings about gaming is weird because the current gen is boring and the Switch is feeling old to me, but there's great stuff ahead. I know it. I'm very excited for it. And I am also feeling weird about doing YouTube, as I spent most of this video rambling to you guys about, but for now, no matter how much my cadence may ebb and flow, I have no immediate intentions of stopping it. My relation to it, my interest in it comes and goes. My available time, because I'm a very busy guy, that comes and goes. But for now, I'm excited to keep going and see where it goes, and hopefully you guys will be along for the ride with me for now. We'll see how music and work maybe changes my availability to it, but I still want to keep going. And like I said, I do want to hit 20,000 subscribers. I've changed the way I make my videos. I no longer talk about, I tried for about a year adding in the beginning of my videos, hey, subscribe if you want to subscribe. And I would always have an outro about tell me what you think. And I've stopped doing those things because I kind of like just like the straightforward, no bullshit. I'm just a guy sharing my opinions about this topic today. That kind of video. That's like what I want my videos to be like. I'm just a guy sharing my opinions about this topic today. Nothing fancier than that. Here's my conversation. I hope you like what I'm saying. And I've liked stripping it down to that. I don't need to push for growth. I want the growth, but I don't need to be verbal about it personally. I'm not saying it's bad for other people who do it. Obviously, I'm just saying I don't really want to make that a part of my content right now. And I probably never will again. So I'm hoping to cross 20,000 subscribers in 2023 without also reminding you guys in every video, hey, please subscribe, so you can call it counterintuitive, but I feel like my content is better when I don't throw that bullshit into the videos. To me, it's just fluff and noise, and it's just not for me anymore. So that's how I'm feeling about things. I'm excited for 2023. Again, thanks to everyone for coming along. I hope your 2023 is also, again, very healthy and very good for you.